Cheating BF got caught. I, 39F, meet a guy online almost 2 years ago. He, 50, was divorced with 4 kids. All but one are adults. We clicked really quick, and after a few weeks, we became official. We started sharing our stories about our past marriages, relationships, our lives, etc. He told me he and his wife were legally separated, which I did verify, and they've been separated for years. He then explained how she was using online dating apps and cheating on him frequently. That his ex-wife did nothing but work and go out drinking and partying with friends and would never invite him. She's in the medical profession world. Yelled at and berated him all the time. That he was a stay-at-home dad that did all the work. This becomes relevant later, etc. I opened up about my late husband and how he was abusive and manipulative to me and my kids. How I wanted to be loved, respected, and treated right, etc. I met his mom around the 3-month point in our relationship, and he'd already met mine. I thought I'd found my one. Fast forward to us dating for 5 months, we move in together. Don't judge me, I was love bombed and got treated right. Amazing sex. His mom helped him pack up his house to move into mine. I owned a decent-sized house and he rented a mobile home. His mom, 72F, and I spent the day talking and getting to know each other. She and I got in the topic of his ex-wife and how shitty she was to him, and how she's happy her son found a good woman that treats him right. His mother was like the fairy godmother, treated my kids like her own grandkids, and accepted us into her family. Shortly after him moving in, he was laid off. He's in construction, and started moping around, whining about how he got laid off, blah, blah, blah. It took him 2 months to get a new job, to help a contractor catch up on their jobs. He was laid off 4 months later. You get where I'm going with this. Other than the sketchy job security issues and a few minor ones, putting dishes in the sink, OR in the dishwasher, remembering to take the trash out, etc., he was great with both mine and his kid, and overall we were happy. Didn't fight that often. It usually ended up having makeup giggity. We had a very healthy, active sex life. Skip ahead to February 2025, 15, almost 16 months living together. He lost yet another job, and by this point, I told him you have 2 weeks to find a solid job and help pay your way around here, or you're going to have to leave. At this point, I was the breadwinner and supporting 2 adults, 2 teenagers, a kindergartner, and 3 dogs, 2 of which were his. This was a Thursday that we had this discussion. The very next day, around 10 a.m., he comes out of the bedroom in tears saying he's been really depressed and not in a good state of mind and was going to go to the hospital. I had that Friday off work. I started getting my shoes on, and he said, "No, don't worry about coming with. I'll be there for a while, and you have to get the kids from school." And I reluctantly agreed. He hugged and kissed me goodbye and said he'll call me after he sees the doctors. Fast forward to Sunday. I've been calling and texting him all weekend. Nada. Reached out to his parents, who were out of town, and asked if they've heard from their son and what the situation was. They told me no, but then texted me hours later stating they got a hold of him and he was okay. Later that same Sunday evening, I get a text from my BF that said, "Be there shortly to get some of my clothes." He showed up an hour later, knocked on the front door, which was weird as he had a key. He lived there. Before he even stepped foot in my house, and he told me, "I will be breaking up with you. I got to get my mind straight." He grabbed his clothes and left. FF 3 weeks, haven't heard anything, and his mom said the only thing she's heard is he's okay, at a friend's, and he's in therapy. After yet. Another week of silence, was almost a month at this point, and then my boyfriend randomly shows up at home like nothing happened. Told me about the meds, the DRs, and his overall mental health. He stated he was going to live at his parents', why he works through all of his problems. I agreed this was the best course of action. I was focusing on myself and my mental health and started therapy. We talked about him needing to communicate better because I thought he'd hurt himself due to his mental health. My late husband unalived himself, and I was worried. He reassured me he was good, and he will call and text going forward, as his anxiety and depression has gotten better on his meds. We quickly fell into our old ways, lazy days around the house, sex a few times throughout the day. He came over for 8 days out of the 10 days. He was telling me we're going to keep spending time together when we can, and we're going to work on things, that he couldn't move home until we both figured things out. My spidey senses were tingling. The more he talked to me about everything that he's been up to, One Sunday, he comes over, says his phone isn't working, got some reason, and spends time with me, goes to work, and comes back. He told me as he was leaving the next morning to go pick up his son for school, he gave me a hug and kiss and said, "I'll be by later and I'll call you from work." And he was excited we were back together and spending time together. FF to May 4th, after 5 weeks of him ghosting me and me telling him to come get his stuff and his dogs, he randomly showed up. Unannounced, mind you, walked right into my house without knocking and says to me, "Open the garage door. I have a moving truck. I'm leaving you. Can't do this anymore. It's too much. The spark that was there before isn't there anymore," and started loading the U-Haul. I was honestly over him at this point because he's acting like an immature grown man child, and it's a lady boner killer. We had a casual conversation as I sat and watched him and his kid pack to make sure they didn't take my stuff. My ex said he found a storage room for cheap. They had to run and unload the U-Haul, and he'll be back for the rest in a few hours. He shows back up, pale, shaky, and nauseous, throwing up. I thought he might have gotten a touch of heat stroke and went and got him a water. At the same time, I received a text from an unknown number asking if this was insert my name. I said, "What anyone would say, who TF is this?" To which my ex said, "What's wrong?" I told him, he asked for the number, and when I said it, he ran and threw up. Another text came through saying, "Hi, I'm E. This is ex-wife. And I just wanted to let you know that my husband and I are back together." Forgot to mention they did get legally divorced in August of 2024, and he's been here since the day he left you and your house. I asked him if this was true, and he replied, "No, you know she's ducking crazy and lies all the time." His child confirmed what his mom said in the text. My ex-boyfriend threw up again. I went inside to go bring my dog outside. When I got back outside, I heard arguing by my garage. His ex-wife found out where I lived and showed up. His ex-wife, 45F, originally thought I was harassing my ex because I texted him all the time, seeing if he okay, etc. She told me he's been at her house since the day he left mine. The kicker: his mom knew her son, my now ex, was cheating on me and didn't tell me. She acted like he's been living at her house for almost the whole time he's been gone from my house. His mom also knew about him cheating on his ex-wife with me and didn't say anything either. I explained to his ex-wife about the week. Ish of him coming over, everything he said, how he was there before and after work, and how he still read my texts and screened my calls. How it's only been 5 weeks since I've seen, talked to, or slept with my now ex. He tried denying it, saying he broke up with me and he wasn't cheating. I showed her all the receipts. Every single text I sent him. Every dirty message. The text about us getting back together and spending more time together. All of it. She lost her fucking mind. She threw him up against the garage wall like he weighed nothing, and their son and I had to pull them apart. We confronted him about him and everything. He stuck to the "we were broken up." Insert friends meme here. Her and I both said, "No, you weren't." I also told her the whole time he was coming to see me, he was driving her car. His was in the shop. She almost socked. Him good, but her son pushed her away. The week he was coming over to my house, my ex-BF told his ex-wife he was staying at his mom's for the week to help out around the house, taking decorations and whatnot down. Again, receipts were shown. He was with me. Found out my ex ran back to her, telling her all the things she wanted to hear. He's changed. He wants to make it work this time. I love you. They were married for 20 years and broke up 5 times because of her. Or that's what he made me believe. She showed me all L. Her receipts on him, cheating on her 5 different times that she knew about. He and his mom told me it was her that cheated. After a while, her and I were laughing at how fucking stupid he was, LOL. We then asked him if he wanted either of us now, while trying not to vomit in my mouth at the thought of screwing him now. He said, "No, I don't want either of you now. You're both bitches, and I hate both of you." I laughed and said, "That's cool, dude. The thought of you made me throw up in my mouth." Both his ex and I proceeded to break up with him and kick him out of both our homes. That he had to get whatever stuff was at his now ex-wife's house, out by Fry, and I said same for my house with the rest of his stuff. He was big mad, and he quickly She and I drove off stayed into and the talked, night with his
compared
son in a
notes.
half-full U-Haul because
We
he
both
got caught
agreed
and
he's
didn't
a
finish
lazy
loading the truck.
truck.
Lying, cheating assholes, and we both deserve better. We hugged and apologized for being bitches to each other after he used us and played us both. He deserved everything he got and then some. Also, before X left, we found out from their son that his dad didn't tell either of us about each other because he needed to make sure he had somewhere to live if one of us broke up with him. I shed zero tears about this dude. I'll be happy when the rest of his stuff is gone and I'll finally be free. I'm over this BS. His ex wife cried a lot. She thought he changed his ways, and he still cheated. She said he wasn't helping at her apartment, no cleaning, paying bills, etc. I feel bad for her because she didn't know he didn't officially break up with me and we both got played. The ex wife knew I texted ex BF, and he was telling her I was harassing him. In reality, we were talking about the next time we'd be able to have some giggity time. I'm sure I'll have updates soon as I sent him a text today with the date time he needs to pick his stuff up, and he needs to schedule a time with me. No more just showing up unannounced, as I don't like that. It's rude AF, and I have anxiety and need to mentally prepare for people. Secondly, I don't want my kids here, as I don't need a reason other than that. Sorry for the long friggin' post, even left stuff out. Thanks for reading. Update 1, the next morning. So I mentioned that I texted ex-BF on a deadline when to get his stuff out of my house. His ex-wife, ex-girlfriend called me this morning, saying my ex-boyfriend told her I was calling and texting him, saying I want him back and he should choose me, blah, blah. I politely told her I called him to let him know when he needs to get the rest of his crap out of my house by nothing more, and I sent her the screenshot of the text I sent him stating the same. I told her I wanted nothing to do with him. She started ranting about how ex-BF is a lying piece of shit, and she can't believe he's still trying to lie about everything. I then heard him start yelling at her in the background. I said, You let him back? And then she hung up. They were fighting pretty hard. She texted shortly after saying she's sorry and she's so tired of all of his lying. IDK if he was there getting his stuff out of her house or if she let him back. Wherever she chooses, that's on her sick. XBF blocked me on everything after I texted him last night about getting his stuff. I texted her, ex-wife, that I don't want their drama or to be a part of it, and not to contact me about anything other than him coming to pick up his stuff. I sent pictures of all the shit he still has at my house, and she didn't know he still had crap here because he lied to her about that too. All she responded with was, okay, IDKY, he's playing games still. I don't want him and I'm not heartbroken. Irritated and annoyed? Yes. He's a lying, cheating piece of she. And it may have taken me a bit to see it, but I did. I'm glad I'm not part of that ball of crazy wrapped in a bow. That's all I have for right now. I'll update if anything else happens.